Hello everyone, let's practice IELTS writing module. Let's begin with writing task 1. You should spend about 20 minutes on this task. The chart below shows the percentage of energy produced from different sources in a country in 1990 and 2020. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Write at least 150 words. Here the chart compares 5 energy sources in 1990 and 2020, showing a clear shift away from coal and oil. Let's see the overview of the above bar chart in 1990. The country relied mainly on coal and oil, which produced 40% and 30% of its energy respectively, while natural gas accounted for 15%, nuclear power 10%, and renewable only 5%. By 2020, the energy mix had become more balanced. Coal share fell to 20% and oil to 25%, whereas natural gas and renewables both rose to 20% and nuclear increased to 15%. This shows a clear shift away from heavy dependency on coal and oil towards greater use of gas, nuclear, and especially renewable source. So let's see a sample band answer. The chart illustrates the proportionate of energy generated from 5 different sources in the country in 1990 and 2020. Overall, it's clear that reliance on coal and oil declined significantly over the period, while renewable energy increased considerably. Nuclear and natural gas also showed moderate growth. In 1990, coal was the dominant energy source, accounting for 40% of total production, followed by oil at 30%. Natural gas contributed 15%, whereas nuclear power made up 10%. Renewable were the least significant at only 5%. By 2020, the situation had changed substantially. Coal dropped by half, providing only 20% of the country's energy, while oil decreased slightly to 25%. In contrast, renewable source rose sharply to 20%, matching natural gas, which also grew to the same level. Nuclear energy increased moderately to 15%. In summary, the country moved towards a more balanced energy mix, with less dependency on fossil fuels and greater emphasis on renewable sources by 2020. Next, writing task 2. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Write about the following topic. Some people believe that government should spend more money on public transport rather than building new roads. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Give reasons for your answers and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience. Write at least 250 words. This is an opinion essay asking how far you agree that government should invest more in public transport instead of building new roads. You must clearly state your view and support it with reasons and examples. Understanding the question. Here the topic is government spending on public transport versus new roads. Task. Say to what extent you agree or disagree. You can fully agree, prioritize public transport, fully disagree. Roads are more important or partly agree. Both needed, but one should be the main priority. You must explain your opinion logically and give specific examples, cities, countries, typical situations. Let's see a sample essay. Public spending priorities often spark debate. Public spending priorities often spark debate, and one recurring question is whether government should allocate more funds to public transport instead of expanding roads infrastructure. I strongly agree that the investment in public transport is more beneficial for both individuals and society. Firstly, improving public transport reduces traffic congestion. In many major cities, private vehicles are the primary cause of road overcrowding. If reliable, frequent, and affordable buses, trains, and trams are available, more people will prefer them over cars. This shift not only decreases traffic jams but also shortens travel times, making cities more efficient. Secondly, public transport investment benefits the environment. Cars are major source of air pollution and greenhouse gases. By contrast, modern trains and buses, particularly those powered by electricity, produce far fewer emissions. For instance, the introduction of metro rail systems in cities such as Delhi, Beijing has significantly reduced urban air pollution level. Opponents argue that buildings new roads is essential to accommodate growing populations. However, experience shows that expanding roads often encourages more people to buy cars, leading to even greater congestion. This phenomenon, known as induced demand, suggests that building roads alone is a sustainable solution. In conclusion, while some road expansion may be necessary, governments should prioritize public transport. Doing so not only addresses traffic and environmental challenges but also provides affordable mobility for all citizens. Therefore, investment in public transport is a smarter and more sustainable use of public funds. And thanks for watching. Follow us for more videos.